She vacationed. I worked. And I was happy, until I opened her phone. Have you ever poured everything into someone, your money, your soul, your time, and in return, got nothing but emptiness? My name's Alex. I'm 36. I work in cybersecurity, fully remote, based in Austin, Texas. Solid contracts, good pay. I'm not a millionaire, but I could afford a good life. For myself, and for my wife. Her name was Laura. We met 8 years ago, standing in line at a coffee shop. I dropped my phone. She picked it up and smiled. Are you always this clumsy, or just before your first cup? The kind of smile that sticks in your mind for months. Straight out of a movie. From that moment, we were inseparable. She worked as an editor at a marketing firm, smart, elegant, with that slightly lazy, almost European charm. Falling for her was like falling into summer. You don't notice time passing, until one day you realize you're standing in the chill of autumn, completely alone. At first, everything was incredible. We lived in a small but cozy apartment, built our own furniture, had movie nights, grilled steaks on Sundays. She loved planning trips, digging into hotel reviews, making detailed itineraries. I wasn't much of a beach guy. But her. She lived from vacation to vacation. Her first big trip happened during our 3rd year together. The Maldives. She went with her best friend. I paid for everything, an ocean view villa, spa treatments, business class tickets. I stayed behind to finish a major project. And I didn't mind. Seeing her come back glowing, happy. That was the reward. I truly believed, a good vacation for her meant happiness for both of us. That's how the tradition started. Every year, a new country. French Polynesia, Seychelles, Bora Bora. Always just her. Sometimes solo, sometimes with a friend. I never questioned it. You don't like the sun anyway, she'd say. I recharged there. And I believed her. Because I loved her. We weren't legally married, but we called each other husband and wife. We shared a mortgage, a bank account, dinners, weekends, even a worn-out blanket on the couch. I never doubted her words. Why question the person you believe is your soul? At one point, I started planning a trip for both of us, Greece, Santorini. I booked the hotel. But when I suggested we go together, she gently but firmly said, "You know I like to vacation alone. It's my reset time. My space." She smiled. Kissed me on the forehead. And I believed her again. Stayed home. Worked through another summer. But man, did I spoil her. Apple watches. Louis Vuitton bags. One-way plane tickets. Pick any place, I'll cover it all, I'd say. I saw it as an investment in joy. Her joy, and, in my mind, ours. Sometimes friends would joke, "Aren't you afraid of letting a woman like that go off alone to paradise?" I laughed it off. If your relationship's built on trust, there's nothing to worry about. And I believed it. I truly thought she was faithful. That she was mine. That I took care of her, and she appreciated it. She'd often say, "I'm so lucky to have you," only now do I realize just how loaded that word lucky really was. She flew away. I waved goodbye. Every year. Like clockwork. The first 3 times, I didn't think it was strange at all. Laura and I had our rhythm, life, routines, work, weekends with pizza and Netflix. And then, suddenly, I found cheap tickets to Bali. Let's go. But let's always meant she'd go. Not me. You hate humidity. And the sun. And all those spicy dishes, she'd say with a half smile, as if she was thinking of me. And truth is, I wasn't a beach guy. I worked in an air-conditioned office, and my perfect vacation looked more like snowy mountains or a cozy cabin in Vermont. But I never pushed back. I thought if something brings someone happiness, you give them that. The first trip was just a week. Then 10 days. Then 2 full weeks. At first, she went solo. Then with girlfriends. Or as she called them, my coven of beach witches. She'd laugh, post Instagram stories of cocktails, sunsets, white sand, palm trees swaying behind her. The captions. My paradise. Joy is in the little things. And I was happy for her. Truly. I believe that's what love was, giving someone room to breathe. To be. To feel alive. Every summer, I bought her the best vacation I could afford. And I stayed behind, picked up extra shifts, chased contracts to cover the costs. My IT firm always ramped up big projects in the summer, so it even made sense on paper. Laura would say, "You're my hero. You handle everything. I'm so proud of you." And I did handle it. Year after year. Her suitcase practically lived by the door. February was for shopping. March, gym. April, debating hotels. May, facials, mani pedis, packing. And come June, she was gone. Always with that same silk scarf she said brought her luck. I drive her to the airport, will her bag to check in, kiss her on the cheek, and wish her a great trip. She'd glance back in the terminal, wave with 2 fingers, and vanish into duty-free. I even began to like our little tradition. Drop her off, swing by my favorite coffee spot near the airport, crack open the laptop, and get back to work. Everything under control. Everything made sense. It felt like a marriage with a ghost. But slowly, the trips got longer. She'd say, "You know I need this. I'm just worn out. Work, the city, life, I need to reset." Her tone wasn't annoyed. Just distant. Like I was part of a world she'd outgrown, and she flew off to another one entirely. I didn't question it. Why would I? I trusted her. Her social media looked the same as always: beach selfies, colorful cocktails, spa selfies, the occasional group photo with her friends. It all looked normal. Like she was living her dream. And isn't that the point? One time I joked, maybe next year I come too. Greece, maybe. Croatia. She laughed. Loud. Like I'd just suggested a vacation to a potato farm. Then she said, "You'd burn in an hour. You'd complain nonstop. I like being free on vacation. I just need to be myself." You get that, right? Being myself meant without me. And once again, I nodded. Didn't argue. Bought her tickets, covered the resort, the insurance, the airport transfers. And once again, waved her off at departures. There was gratitude in her eyes. Or at least, I thought so. At some point, I even began to feel proud of myself. I wasn't like other men. I didn't control. I didn't accuse. I didn't restrict. I believed in freedom. I wasn't the guy with a cage, I was the guy who built the house and said, "Here, be happy in it." But slowly, that house began to feel empty. Without her, it faded. Became gray. Quiet. And what's worse, I got used to it. Every June, I dropped her off. Every July, I waited for a call. Every August, I picked her up. It became a rhythm, like seasons passing. You tell yourself, it's just another cycle. Until one day you realize, you're standing in the same place, but everything around you has changed. Sometimes betrayal begins with silence. If betrayal leaves a mark, it starts off soft. Almost invisible. Like someone gently dragging a finger across your heart. Barely there. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That summer, things started differently. First, she left earlier than usual. Laura typically scheduled her trips for mid-June. But this time, she flew out in the first week of the month. Tickets were on sale, she said. I saved us some money. I raised an eyebrow, but nodded. When you've looked into someone's eyes for years and always seen, "I love you" there, you don't expect a lie hiding behind it. Second, the photos. They got fewer. Way fewer. Where she used to post 3 Instagram stories a day, cocktails, sunsets, smoothies and big hats, this time, there were only 3 photos during the whole first week. One of the ocean at sunrise. One of a coffee cup. One blurry sunset. And none of her. I texted her, "Hey, how are you doing? Feels quiet on your end," smiley face. She replied the next day, "All good. Just want a break from my phone. Don't take it personally." I didn't take it personally. But something clicked inside me. Too dry. Too unlike her. Laura always wrote with warmth. This time, she sounded like a colleague replying on Slack. I told myself I was overthinking. I mean, she's on vacation. Maybe she really did just want to unplug. But on day 3 of silence, I found myself scrolling her old posts. Checking who liked them. Reading through her comments. Googling the hotel name to see what kind of crowd stayed there. And I hated myself for it. I wasn't that guy. I wasn't controlling. I never snooped through her phone. That wasn't us. We had trust. And then came the airport. I showed up early to pick her up. 30 minutes early, actually. Bought her favorite flowers, white peonies. Waited at the arrivals gate, nervous like it was our first date. I couldn't wait to see her again, sun-kissed, glowing, light dress fluttering as she walked out. She came through the doors 40 minutes later. And from the first word, it was ice. "You're late," she said, not even glancing at the flowers. "I've been here since 7 a.m., Laura," I landed early. "My bag's been going around on the carousel for half an hour." "Why say you'll be there if you won't?" I stood there holding those damn flowers. People passed by, some glanced over. I felt small. Embarrassed. Not because she didn't hug me, but because of how she said it. Like I was her Uber driver who took a wrong turn. "Laura, are you okay?" I asked gently. "I'm tired, Alex. Just want to get home and sleep." "Okay." We drove home in silence. She stared out the window. I turned on the radio just to fill the air. She left the flowers in the back seat. Later, she forgot them completely. The next day was off. She locked herself in the bathroom for over an hour. Said she was doing a face mask. Then she got dressed and went out to run errands. I decided to make dinner that evening. Bought wine. Ordered sushi from her favorite spot. I wanted to talk. Just be near her. But she ate in silence. No smile. No thanks. Then, mid-bite, she put her chopsticks down and said coldly, "Alex, please, stop smothering me. I just got back. Can you give me space?" "I was just trying to," I began. "Exactly. You were trying." "I wasn't," she snapped. Then stood up and walked off to the bedroom. I sat there. Alone. With the wine. With the sushi. With the empty chair across from me. You know what's the scariest part? I still defended her in my head. Told myself she was just tired. Jet-lagged. Maybe hormonal. Everyone has bad days. But on the third morning after she returned, I woke up earlier than her. Walked into the kitchen. And saw her phone on the table. It was glowing with a notification. Unknown name. Profile photo, a guy with a surfboard. Text preview, already miss you. That night. The world didn't collapse all at once. First, it felt like a balloon popped inside my chest. Then came the chill. Then came the rage. I had never once read through her messages before. But now. I couldn't stop. They'd been talking since the day she left. He called her my summer storm. She sent him selfies. Private ones. He told her she was the best he's ever had. She wrote that he had a wildness I've been missing. I sat there in the living room, holding her damn phone, and felt something inside me just die. Not just trust. Not just love. Something bigger. The foundation of what my reality had been built on. I thought, soon she'll wake up. And then what? I'll yell. Throw things. Make a scene. That's how it plays out in movies. But real heartbreak is quiet. It lives inside you. And that's when I decided, my answer wouldn't be anger. It would be the end. That morning, I left her a ring. And an envelope. I don't remember much about that night. After reading through the messages, I just froze. Laura was still asleep. On her left side, like always. Her nails were freshly done, beach style. I stared at her, trying to figure out who the hell I'd been living with. 8 years. 8 years I paid for paradise. And the whole time, she was searching for it somewhere else. I went back through the messages. Again. And again. There was everything: flirty banter, explicit photos, plans for next summer, beach kisses, long chats about how she misses feeling something real, how he makes her feel alive again. And me? What was I in all this? A walking wallet. I used to think heartbreak was loud, tears, shouting, broken dishes. But it's not. It's quiet. It's cold. It's sitting in the dark and feeling the lights inside you shut off, one by one. I didn't wake her. Instead, I opened my work laptop, moved a few meetings around, canceled a call. Then I sat at the table. Slowly. Calmly. I opened the drawer. Took out a white envelope. And started gathering. First, the photos. Screenshotted the worst ones. Emailed them to myself. Printed them downstairs in the shared office printer. They were in black and white, but it didn't matter. One photo, her kissing some tanned surfer. Another, the two of them in hotel robes, cuddled up in front of a mirror. The third, a text exchange. Hers read, "Wish summer didn't have to end. But I'll come back, just promise you won't let me go into the ocean alone next time." Then, the ring. Not a wedding ring. We weren't legally married. But it was the white gold ring I gave her on our 3rd anniversary. She once said, "When I wear this, I feel loved." Now it just felt heavy. Cold. And fake. I placed it all in the envelope. Wrote one line. "Every year, you vacationed on my dime. Now do it on yours." No signature. Just an initial, A. I didn't yell. Didn't accuse. Didn't throw a tantrum. I simply placed the envelope on the kitchen table, right next to her coffee cup. She always drank cappuccino with cinnamon in the morning. I knew she'd sit there first. She'd see it. She'd read it. Me. I was gone before the sun came up. Got in the car. Drove. No destination. Just motion. Just the hum of a morning starting around me, cars, birds, that first talk radio show fading in and out of static. I didn't care where I was going. I just knew I had to go. At a gas station, I bought a bottle of water and sat in the parking lot. And then, it hit me. I started shaking. Not from rage. From release. It felt like I'd been carrying someone on my back for years, and now I'd finally set them down. And everything was light. While she slept, I'd already locked down everything. Joint accounts, closed. Her Apple Pay, disabled. Bank and Netflix passwords, changed. I moved all my savings into a private account. No marriage. No kids. No legal ties. Just a story. One I decided was over. I came back late that afternoon. The apartment was quiet. The envelope, gone. The ring, gone too. Only one coffee cup sat on the table. Not hers. Mine. The one with the chip in the rim I always meant to throw out. Fitting. She didn't call. Didn't text. Didn't show up. Until the next day. 9:03 a.m., are you serious? You're just done. I didn't answer. 10:11 a.m., Alex, you don't get it. It was just a stupid thing. You misunderstood. It meant nothing. Then a missed call. Then 3 more. Finally, a voice message, Alex, please. Let's talk. We've been through so much together. It was just a moment. A mistake. But you can't just erase me like that. That's cruel. That's not you. I love you. Do you understand? I just got confused. Confused. She said it like she meant caught. I didn't finish the message. I already knew the rest: tears, excuses, flashbacks, memory-laced manipulations. I'd heard it before. Friends, co-workers, Reddit threads. It's a script. A script for people who don't want to lose the comfy chair and the paid vacations. But the chair? Not hers anymore. I turned off my phone. And for the first time in years, I napped in the afternoon. Wrapped in a blanket. On the couch. No guilt. No weight in my chest. Just silence. And the next morning, I did what I should have done years ago. Now I was the one on vacation. And for once, I was paying for myself. Not for her. 2 days after I kicked her out, I booked myself a trip. And not just any trip. The kind I'd always put off. Because that's not her style, she'd be bored, why spend that much on myself? But this time, I didn't ask anyone. I just picked a 5-star resort in Tulum. Private villa. Pool. Ocean view. Personal chef. One click. Paid in full. The money was there. The freedom too. I flew out through Miami. For the first time, no tension, no work laptop, no tight schedule. Just me. And the sun I thought I hated, turns out, I just spent years hiding in the shade so someone else could shine. On day 1, I sat on the balcony, sipping ice water with lime, listening to the waves. No thoughts. No plans. Just peace, the rarest luxury there is. On day 2, I met a woman. Sarah. A nurse from Portland. She was also there alone, post-divorce. We met by the pool. Talked. Laughed. Within 2 hours, we were sipping champagne, playing silly beach trivia, teasing each other about sunburns. She was real, no Instagram posing, no performative smiles, no fake energy. Just a human being. At one point she said, "You look like someone who finally let something go." "I'm not even sure what," I replied. But whatever it was holding me down for a long time. We sat in the hot tub, swapping stories and laughing like old friends. Nothing about her felt forced. No filters, not on her face, not in her soul. It was refreshing. On day 4, I took a photo. Me and Sarah in the pool. I had a glass in my hand. She was in a white swimsuit, her hair loose, no makeup, just smiling. Honestly smiling. I sent the photo to only one person, Laura. No caption. No comment. 20 minutes later, the reply came, "Are you kidding me?" Then another, "You're already with someone. Seriously? This is how you handle things." An hour later, voice message. Tears. Bitterness. Anger. "Alex. I can't believe this. You're doing this on purpose. Just to hurt me, right? Well, congrats. It worked. I hoped you'd cool off, that this was a phase. But you're in a pool with some girl. After 8 years. So that's what it all meant to you?" Nothing. I didn't respond. Because I knew what she was really feeling wasn't regret. It was defeat. She didn't lose love. She lost comfort. Convenience. The habit of receiving without giving. Then, on day 5, I got the message I'd been waiting for, "Alex, my card isn't working. Can you send something? I can't live like this." That was the moment of truth. Not, "I'm sorry." Not, "I messed up." Just, "Send money." I stared at the screen. And smiled. Not out of revenge. Just, peace. "Every year, you vacationed on my dime," I typed. "Now do it on yours." Sent. Blocked. Done. And in that moment, I felt clean. I came back home a different man. I changed the locks. Tossed anything that reminded me of her. Not out of spite. Out of cleansing. I started breathing again. Eating what I liked. Listening to music that wasn't her favorite. Drinking coffee on the balcony without checking messages. I came back to myself. The version of me I'd buried under the weight of being the perfect man. I didn't try to hold on to Sarah. We didn't make promises. But that trip? It was real. Simple. Unmasked. A month later, a letter came from Laura. Handwritten. She asked for another chance. Said she finally understood. Said she was chasing love in the heat of someone's body, not in the soul. Said, a mistake isn't the end. I read it. Folded it. Put it away. Not out of anger. Just because that wasn't my story anymore. My story is about the day you wake up and stop being the sponsor of someone else's lies. The day you stop being the convenient one. The day your vacation becomes the start of your actual life, not with someone, but in yourself. My name was Alex. I spent 8 years funding someone else's dreams. Now, I'm just living. And for once, on my own dime.